Alright, what's up YouTube? We're live. If you can hear us on YouTube, type us a comment, tell us where you're from. Kickstarter, if you can hear us. We got 50 people watching. If you can hear me, type me a comment. Let me know. Tell me where you are coming in. There's Senior Madre. Tasia is tuning in. Thank you, Tasia. What up, baby? Alright, we have got, there's Roger. Roger, where are you located in this world? You could just say state or country. Damien, I think I know where you are. France. Sweet. Roger is tuning in from France. Alright, so today is going to be a busy Q&A session. And I've got all kinds of video going. YouTube's up, Facebook's up, so there's lots of different camera angles. If you want to see a different camera angle, just add a little tab at the top while you're watching, and you'll be able to see something new. Now, I'm going to kind of rotate those things. Facebook is on my mobile, so it's going to be the easiest to see like some of the fine-tuned details of things. YouTube is going to be kind of a broad picture. Kickstarter, you're going to be kind of a broad picture because I'm having to use a desktop for you. So, we've got a bunch of questions. Chris tuning in from Pennsylvania. What's up, Chris? We've got a bunch of questions coming in. If you've got any questions, be sure and put them in the comments on the Kickstarter page. That will be the easiest place for me to see them. If you have them on Facebook comments, that's great. We'll try and get those to the Kickstarter via Tasia. She will upload those. If you've got some on YouTube, type us a comment. Tasia will try and relay that to Kickstarter. But if you can, get on Kickstarter, drop your questions there, and we're going to try and answer all of them. John tuning in from Ireland, I believe. Right, John? Damien in Louisiana. Willard's in his pickup truck. George from Bloomington, Indiana. Chris, I guess you're in North Carolina, the flooded state, right along with Florida. And I think Texas is flooding too. This is crazy weather. All right, guys, I'm super excited that you've turned in. Today, we're going to talk about the Ninox Fly, which I've got set up right here. Right, Sierra Madre is on YouTube also. The Ninox Fly, bam, and then we're going to take a look at the winter top shield applied to a hammock. It looks super sweet. This is our second version of this, so it's a little rough around the edges, still prototype. This was our first stretch goal that we released. We released it and the double layer hammock. All right, so first I want to give you guys a look at the Ninox Fly from outside, and then we're going to step inside. Right now, Kickstarter, you're seeing kind of the inside. Sorry, my camera is limited at how wide it can get. But here we go. We're going to load you up. Stay with me, Facebook. All right. And yes, I will be moving around a monitor doing this. All right. Voila. Kickstarter, Facebook, YouTube, we are all tuned in. All right. So I've got quite a few questions that I want to go over today. I know we've been getting them regularly. Tasia's been feeding me a lot of questions from Kickstarter, from Facebook, from different places along the web. And so I want to focus on a few things today. The first that I want to talk about, since it's set up behind me, is the Ninox Fly. Now, this is our 38th prototype that you see behind me. We've made quite a few prototypes, getting the revisions correct, trying to just get it absolutely dialed in. What you see is a representation of what we anticipate the final product looking like. It does not have the correct fabric. We're actually going to be using a little bit different fabric. We will have some color options available, and there's a few minor adjustments on the actual construction of the product, because we, in our prototype, kind of like, we have like a, what I call this, sample room. We build prototypes, we send those to our manufacturers. Our manufacturers use the most high-tech, crazy machines to make these. In fact, our puffle is actually sewn by a machine, like it's put on a board, and it's CNC'd, like the stitching and everything. It's absolutely wild. So we only partner with the highest quality manufacturers that use technology to assist them in making the most supreme products that are possible. All right. So that gives you an idea. So there's a few things that we actually can't do here. We don't do seam taping here. Our factories do all the seam taping. So let me go over a few things first. All right, so right now I want to show you the Ninox fly as it would be packed up. Now, if you notice, the bag is actually a little bit bigger than it needs to be, so you can fit your hammock inside if you would like, and some other items. But the fly itself actually compresses down to that. Everybody getting that? So that's the fly. This has all of the tie-outs, the elastics, everything is included. The stakes are included. We've even got a nice little pouch that you can put your stakes in. Let's see if everybody can see that. Nice little pouch there. So everything comes with the fly that you would need to stay waterproof. Now I want to go over a few things that are unique about our fly that we've created for the Ninox. The first thing you'll see, I think everybody can see this, we've got a elastic strip here, we've got a tension lock here, and then we've got our cordage. So the elastic actually helps absorb wind and then go back to a tense or a structured shape. The tension lock allows you to tighten up, so in case you're in a weird spot where there's an angle or something or a tree in your way, you can short stake it and then just tension it out really quickly. You don't have to tie a special knot or anything like that. Everything's ready to go. The other thing you'll notice, we have attachment points for the Ninox hammock. Now the Ninox hammock, as you will see if this is your first time seeing it, crap, I should have welcomed our first time guests. You know, let me just stop and take a moment. I got ahead of myself. My name is Richard Rett. I own and operate Sierra Madre, which is an outdoor gear company that is dedicated to enabling and empowering you to brave the unknown in comfort and protection. Okay, so that's our like really short version. With every product that we sell, we donate a portion of that product's profit to drilling a clean water well in Central America. So with every product that goes out, one person in Central America gets clean water, clean drinking water for an entire year. And so far we've been able to change and affect, with your help, over 20,000 people's lives because of that. I'm super excited about that. Our mission, like I said, just incredible gear that enables you to get out and experience the wild and change the world for people that are living without clean drinking water. All right, so I'm Richard Rett. That's what we do. This is the company that I created. We sold our first product in 2013, and we have been nonstop going ever since. We are on Kickstarter right now. My Kickstarter crew. We are on Kickstarter right now, and we have launched a product called the Ninox Flat Lay Hammock. Now I'm going to go over everything about that hammock and a bunch of other things that are associated with it. So if you're just tuning in, if you're catching up, that is the synopsis of why we are here. We love our backers, we love our customers. We try and give as much information to everybody so that you can make an informed decision. We want you to purchase something that lasts and stays with you for a lifetime. We're not here for a quick buck. We're not here for a sale and an exit. We are here for serving you, our outdoor-centric customer, for the rest of your life. That's why we offer a 30-day love it or send it back to us guarantee. That's why we offer a 2-year manufacturing warranty. That's why we offer a lifetime of repairs at cost. So if anything happens to your product over its lifetime, within 2 years, we handle it completely, 100%. After that, it's just a cost of labor to repair that product, which is usually about 10 to 15 bucks, honestly. So, ripped out a bug net, we got to replace an entire bug net in your new bag, 15 bucks. All right, so that's my spiel. That's the quick version. We're here talking about the Ninox. Today, specifically, I want to talk about the Ninox Fly, the Top Winter Shield, which is an add-on, and we'll talk again about the Ninox hammock because it's just awesome. And we're going to talk a little bit about the double layer. So if you have questions, you know what to do. Put it in the comments. We'll get to it. All right. Sorry. Back to the Fly. The hammock has these little tie-outs that are going to be color-coded so that you can come in and just clip to a D-ring that is also color matching on the Ninox Fly. So what that does is allow you to separate out the mesh and create a nice spacious interior while you're in your hammock, which is super important to us because we cannot stand feeling like we are in a coffin. Okay, so the next thing you'll see on the Fly, we have pockets for all of our guy lines. That's a pocket. You can see it. Facebook, you're vertical, so it'll pay off later, but it's hard now. All right, pockets for all the guy lines, so everything can be neatly and clearly stored and organized in those pockets. The next thing you're going to notice on the interior, which you probably have to go to Facebook to see this, on the interior we created D-ring attachment points for an interior ridge line. So if you wanted to hang lights or something lightweight, you could actually strap it into that. You'll also be able to use our Stratus shield with the Ninox Fly. So if you already have a shield, you can actually use it with the Ninox Fly. We cross-pollinate all of our products. That's just how we operate. We want you to be able to purchase something and enjoy it with other products that we create. All right, the next big thing that I want to show, in Kickstarter, you're going to have to follow us on a different avenue. I'm going to be right here talking about the closure sleeves and the peak vents. So YouTube, Facebook, we're going to go mobile. If you've got questions, please put them in the comments and Tasia will make sure I see them. All right, I think we got everybody there. In fact, I'm just going to go completely mobile on Facebook. Chris Smith, what's up? All right. Let me get right here. I think everybody can still see me. All right. So what you're going to see here. Sorry, there's too many cameras. There we go. All right, what you're going to see here is our closure sleeve. Now, if you're just tuning in with Sierra Madre, you might not know what a closure sleeve is. It's really simple. It's just a waterproof rain jacket for your suspension. That's it. Really simple. You don't need a drip line. You don't need anything to create a break. The closure sleeve actually seals around the carabiner and creates a tight seal so that your suspension will never transfer water to you. Very important. We patented that. We invented that when we launched the new bay. So you can see that here. That, like I said, just goes right to carabiner and cinches up nice and tight right there. What you're also going to notice is that we have these peak vents. Facebook, I'm on this side. These peak vents are going to allow ventilation when you're in the product with the doors closed. Okay? Now, we've got a couple of options for how you can set up the doors, but the peak vents allow you to have some vents that actually go in and create airflow into the product and alleviate moisture that inevitably forms in a very humid environment. So to alleviate that moisture, we created these vents. The doors, if you notice the doors, they actually come out instead of following this curve. They actually pull out. And the reason for that is when you're in the hammock, you want about 10 inches to 11 inches of space between you and your water protection. At least, that's minimum. What that does is really help minimize any draft water from being able to reach you. That's important. We don't create fair weather products. We want you to be able to go out into the wild, no matter what the situation is, stay warm, stay protected. Dry, warm, comfortable. That's our game, that's our plan. These doors, when it gets stormy, these doors come down and they seal off the ends and they create a very protected end, which is usually the most vulnerable state of a hammock. Okay, now I'm going to unclip this one and show you. Really quickly, that this will just connect. We would actually connect this to the D-rings at the opposite corners. Let me just do that. Okay, so now you can see that I've got a completely open fly on the end. My doors are open. This is going to be your bluebird day where you might get some rain, you're not sure, but it's enjoyable, and right now you just want to have it open and get some nice airflow through the product. I will say in a light rain, you're not going to have any problem. You're going to have plenty of coverage here in a very light rain. It's just when it gets nasty, when it gets stormy, that's when you're going to want to batten down the hatches, close the doors up, and really gain that extra protection that's offered in the Ninox fly. Again, so close your sleeves, peak vents, open and close the doors. The attachment points up here, we've had a question about this, so I want to make sure I answer it. The attachment points up here, number one, they have a pocket to store your guy line so that you're never untangling rope instead of enjoying the view. Okay? Number two, you can either go around your tree and vary the height of the fly, or you can go directly to the suspension that we're creating, which will then allow you to very quickly set up the fly and even be able to leave it ready to go, all packed up into a bag. So that's kind of the option there for suspending the fly. You can do either one. There's plenty of cordage, 10 feet of cord on each side for the attachment of the fly. And if you want a quick setup, you can go right to the cinch buckle on the suspension. Either way works. All right, let me take Facebook in and just give you guys a little bit of a close-up tour. YouTube, I can get you in a little bit. Not just a whole lot. All right. So right now, let's see, yeah. Right now I've got all of the, what's up, Kickstarter? Right now I've got all of the corners tied out, and I just want to show you really quickly what that looks like on the inside. So this is the space. This is the space. Sorry, guys, I'll get everybody else. This was the space inside of the Ninox hammock when it is spread out. All right. Some people are calling this the Winnebago of hammocks, and rightfully so. It's huge in here. Rightfully so. The important thing that you want to notice is that this is the tie out, and there's a ton of space over my head, so that even when insects are trying to get in, like they're not in my ear, they're way out here, and it's a lot less annoying when that is the case. Plus, you just have a whole lot more room, a lot less claustrophobic. And then same thing for my legs. We've got this tie out here. I've got a nice space for my legs. So, all right. One of the great things about the Ninox hammock is when you unzip the product, the mesh, if it's staked out, actually goes up and the hammock goes down. Now the great thing about that is, sorry there YouTube. The great thing about that is you can unzip and the mesh doesn't fall in your face, which is a big problem with a lot of other hammocks. We'll get some more about the Ninox here in a second, but I wanted to really quickly show you the fly. I'm gonna weigh the fly. This has got all the cordage, all the elastics, everything, plus the stuff sack. So right now the stuff sack's actually a different material than what we're going to be using. It's coming in at 18 ounces, which is actually heavier than what it will be. Right now we're using a 70 denier nylon on our prototype bags. That's actually going to change to a 20 denier. We're going to drop off down to our 15.9 to 16 ounce weight range. And then we're actually going to get a little bit lighter because we're going to a 15 denier on our fly material rather than a 20, which is what this is. So there we go. Tell you what, I'm going to pop the fly off. Chris has got his puffle. We shipped out like 800 puffles Friday of last week and Monday this week. Crazy. I'm gonna pop the fly off. Let me get the hammock, Ninox hammock, and the winter top shield on so you can check it out. It looks really cool. Like I said, this is the second prototype that we've made of it. It is a little rough around the edges, but you'll get the idea for sure. And actually, weight-wise, I saw a question from Willard earlier. Willard asked, will the insect shield be able to completely zip off of the final version of this product? The answer is yes. The Ninox flat lay hammock will use a zipper system that allows you to completely remove the insect shield and then install the winter top shield. Okay? So completely remove it, install winter top shield. The weight right now is actually coming in with the hammock and the winter top shield at 21.2 ounces. I expect that to be pretty close to production. Now the hammock itself is coming in at 21.2 ounces with the mesh. And I actually expect that to drop a little bit because we're going to be using a lighter weight mesh than what we have here at our facility. Anyways, details. Let me pull this down. You guys get your questions in to Kickstarter, and Tasia, make sure that there are any questions that are coming in, come into the Kickstarter, and I will get to those momentarily. Let me pull this down. We've got a lot of people tuned in. So happy you guys are here. All right, let's see how fast we can pull this thing down. Okay, so that's the fly and the hammock, Ninox hammock. I broke all kinds of rules by not winding up my cords and putting them in, but we got things to do. Chris, how are those puffles looking, man? I want to know. I know we had a little bit of a mix-up on the shipping label. All right, here we go. And I'm going to just kind of pull these out. Just so you can get an idea of what it looks like when it's spread out. All right, so when you're just using the Ninox hammock by itself, you can totally stake these out to the ground and still pull this out to get your structure on the inside. That is one of the kind of important things for me, is being able to use this without a fly, with a fly, with the Nube, with the Stratus fly. Any of the flies I want to be able to use them with, but I want to be able to go ultra light if I know it's not raining and just go to the ground with my elastics and get my space inside, right? All right, so you can see we've got the winter top shield on. Now this, the winter top shield, is an add-on on our Kickstarter right now for $65. What this is it is a replacement of your insect shield. So every Ninox hammock is going to come with the insect shield, which is a complete mesh body here. When you order the Ninox winter top shield, then you're going to get the top portion, right, as an extra item, and it's going to zip in to your hammock. So like I said before, you'll be able to unzip the mesh completely off, use it as just a hammock if you want, and you'll be able to zip in the winter top shield right to the hammock, right? This is about, and it's going to be a 20 denier fabric. It's going to be super lightweight. It's really small and compact. And it's going to basically retain heat That's the goal with this winter top shield. It's to help you get down to lower temperatures. I will go on and say it up front, the biggest challenge with this product anytime for anybody is condensation management. So I want to talk a little bit about condensation management. There's a lot of things you can do, but sometimes it happens. And what you want to be able to do when it happens, because of your environment you're in, you want to be able to vent the product. You want to be able to get as much transfer of air through the product to remove your water vapor that is being exhaled out of your body while you sleep. Okay, so we've done quite a few things. The first thing you'll see, and the easiest thing to do, is going to be to Alright, so this is what it looks like when it is zipped up. Obviously, it'll look a little different if somebody was in it. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to be able to unzip this a little bit and then snap this back so that when you're inside, there's a large vent area right here. Now, this is only going to be for major condensation, humidity issues, right? That's going to get a lot of air through. You're going to lose some heat retention. So what we've done is we created these smaller vents. Let's see, Facebook, let me get you over a little bit. We created these smaller vents on each corner. As you can see, it's mesh. But wait. You can also unsnap this and reattach it so that it is closed up and it blocks if it's getting chilly and you've got plenty of ventilation. You can close that up for a warmer environment. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to maximize heat retention and minimize condensation. So that's one thing you can do there. It's also a nice little window. You can snap it back up here. It's a really nice little window if you want to see what's going on outside. Your head is usually about right here. You can lean up and you'll have a nice little view. The other place that we vented, let me get you all a little bit further over. We created a vent that is up here in the top, because obviously heat's going to rise, and the warmest spot actually will probably be where all of your breath is gathering outside of your body. And so we're putting a vent here so that that can escape into the environment and be basically relieve that tendency for condensation to want to build up there. Very important. The material that we're using is a DWR, but it's highly breathable. So it's going to vent. Like I said, we've got 4 of these guys, which are great for viewing and venting, etc. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hop in and I just want to show you what it looks like at the vent when I am in the product, and I'll show you what you can actually see. Alright, so I'm going to start by just showing you this little flap because I'm really excited about it. You snap that back. And then you've got a nice little window right there for the product so that you can enjoy the view, the winterscape, and kind of stay protected and cocooned in your Ninox. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and zip up. And notice how easy it is for me to zip it up, even though I'm right here on the edge. Super important. Okay. Can anybody see me? All right, so now you can see, hopefully you can see me. I've got a little window here that I can look out, see what the weather condition is, see what's going on. I can open it and close it as I so desire and seal that wind back out. I've got 4 corners to do that on. Okay? 4 corners of adjustment there. You can see I've got this one open, so I'm going to get some airflow there. And then up here, I've got a vent. All right, I'm going to take a little nap. You guys make sure you got all your questions in, and I will be right with you, I promise. I'm totally kidding. But I could definitely go to sleep there. All right, so this is what I was talking about earlier. We've got it staked out. Look how it stays up and doesn't fall down into the hammock while you're in it. All right, let's get some questions. I'm super excited to get some questions. All right. All right, YouTube showing you getting into the Ninox. Absolutely. That's an easy one. I think I just did it. But you got these zippers, double zip, right? To get in, I'm just going to set the bottom right there. And then I am good to go, baby. Now if I want to zip it up, there we are. And that is how you get in and out of a Ninox hammock. As soon as you're in, I'll tell you, it's a little different when you get in. It's really cool. One of the things that we've tried to do with the Ninox is make it really easy for people to get into the hammocking atmosphere, the ecosystem of hammock camping, right? We call it air camping because we want to make it super simple and really comfortable. When you get in, the hammock is actually going to adjust your body almost naturally to find the sweet spot. Really cool. We've got a ridge line in the top that actually keeps it at the desired angle, so you don't have to worry about that. If you want some adjustment there, we've got some. It's a buckle. It's a really simple buckle so that you can pull it or loosen it. Either way, there's no knot, there's no adjusting a whoopee and worrying about where your berry is. Very simple. So, hope that helps. YouTube. All right, we got something weird coming on. Let's see. Chris, thank you. Puffle tomorrow. Willard, I am so ready to hear how you like your puffle. I'm sorry it's taken so long. All right. Let me get a few more questions in. I've also got quite a few to go through myself. Got a bunch of people watching. Thankful you guys tuned in. Get y'all kind of close. You like the ridgeline, eh? A few of our customers actually purchased prototype products. So that's one of the cool things we did with this campaign. If you watch the video, you'll see that we got feedback from a lot of different people that purchased the product. So they're not like, I'm not shilling, I'm not trying to get people to just tell me whatever they like about it because they got a free piece of gear. They paid for it. And then they told us what they thought. And we got great feedback. It's been an amazing process in developing this product. The winter top shield is a new thing that came in as a stretch goal at $150,000. We blew through that. We designed it, we created it really fast. And so super glad that we were able to get that. So let me get some questions here. All right. Grab my mouse. All right, if you're just tuning in, my name's Richard. I run a company called Sierra Madre. We're on Kickstarter right now doing a Facebook Live to try and give you an opportunity to ask whatever questions you want from the designer of the product. All right. Okay, Bert is asking if there's no way to hang it, nothing to hang it from, are there stands which can support it? Yes, there are stands in the market. We didn't make a stand. We don't have a stand. We will eventually, Bert, but right now we don't have one. You can get stands from a couple of different places. If there are no trees, we also offer the option to go to ground with all of our shelters. So if you buy a shelter, it's going to have the ability to be used as a tent on the ground in the instance that there are no trees if you're on a through hike or you're backpacking in the backcountry. The Ninox Winter Top Shield weight. Where did that go? All right, I got a question from Chris. What is the Ninox Winter Top Shield weight? Chris, again, this is going to replaces the mesh. So when it actually is on the product, it's going to come in somewhere around 21.2 to 21.8 ounces. But just the Winter Top Shield by itself, let's get an idea. It's coming in at 7 ounces. So the Winter Top Shield by itself coming in at 7 ounces. And hope that helps. Andrew, can you increase the color range of combinations, or is that driven by cost? Andrew, the color combinations, that is always a tricky thing for us. We have to do minimum quantities for our fabric and for our manufacturer, and they actually really want us to only do one color. Of course, I can't stand the fact of only doing one color. We've got 7 different options. We are, I don't know if I should say this, we are toying around with the idea of doing a custom, completely custom, whatever color fabric you want for any of the parts that would be manufactured here in Chattanooga. If that's interesting, hit us up, let us know. Has the Top Shield been tested? Roger, great question. The Top Shield, since this is the second one and we made it today, has not been out of the field yet. It's not quite cold enough here. I am going to send this to one of our gear testers as soon as we get a final version done. And this product, actually, we've got a little bit of time that we can make adjustments on it before our manufacturer cuts us off from changes. So I hope that helps. Roger, from YouTube, what is the ridgeline length minimum tree span? Great question. We're using a pretty tight ridgeline. 107 inches is our ridgeline min, and that is from the tip of the hammock to the tip of the hammock. Okay, so 107 minimum ridgeline on the Ninox hammock, and you can go out a little bit more to about 110, 111, just to get some adjustment there. Everybody's hang is different. That will give you a little bit of variation there to play with. But 107 for me, 6'2", it's my sweet spot. One of our ladies here in the shop, she's 5'2" or 4, and 107 is actually her sweet spot. So we really feel comfortable about the 107 distance. You'll have some adjustment there. Can you show me? I got that. First time seeing the product. Hey, for first time people seeing the product, I'm going to go over the main differences in what our product is doing compared to everybody else. Here in just a second, let me scan. Extra D-rings in the middle of the fly might be convenient for some kind of porch mode. Roger, we are planning on making a porch mode with poles so that you can have a porch mode for your fly when the doors are up. How much does the double layer weigh? Let's weigh it right now. The double layer is coming in right around 30 ounces, maybe 31 ounces. We are using I just want to say this right now. We are using a prototype mesh for all of our prototypes, right? It's mesh that I've had in stock. I've got 3,000 meters of it to use up. It's a 40 denier mesh, so it's a little bit heavier than our actual production mesh, which is a 15 denier mesh. If you've seen our Strata Shield or our Nube, they actually have our 15 denier mesh. All right, but I'm going to weigh the double layer just to give you an idea. Okay, it's coming in right at 30 ounces on the dot. Right now with our heavier mesh, you can expect a couple ounces lighter with our lighter mesh. So maybe 28 ounces will be our double layer Ninox flat lay hammock, double layer. All right. Thank you, Barbara. Bert, watching the demo. Isn't looking very flat when I'm laying it. I'll get back in. It's going to, I'll put the camera in a little bit different angle. Because I'm laying on the diagonal, sometimes, Bert, when you see it from straight on, it may not look as flat as it actually is. I'll put an angle over here so you can get a perpendicular view of my body, and you'll get an actual view of that. If you like, I've got a competitor's hammock. I can throw it up and show you the difference. So if you want to see that, drop us a comment. First of all, let me just say that's not to bash or downgrade any competitor. I highly respect all of my competitors. There's some great people out there making great products. We come in not trying to imitate or be similar to anybody. We want to innovate. We want to make products that are unique and have their own special place in the market. That's my game. So I'd be happy to throw one up. I won't reveal names or anything because, like I said, I'm not here to bash anybody. But I'll be happy to throw that up. If that's interesting, leave us a comment. We'd be glad to do that. Minimum tree span. So minimum tree span is going to be right at about 9.5 feet, maybe 9 3/4 feet. That's going to be the minimum, and that'll work with the fly. That'll work with the hammock. Actually, we have a very minimal tree span when you compare our fly to a competitor, simply because of our closure sleeves that allows us to protect the ends without having to have all that extra fabric of a 12-foot fly. Hope that helps. Fly length. The fly length from skyhook to skyhook is 112. It's going to be able to be used with a 12-foot hammock with a ridgeline in it. Because of our closure sleeve. Our closure sleeves come out and add an extra 1.5 feet on each side. Like I was just explaining, that closure sleeve helps you get a shorter tree span, but stay protected, because really at the ends, all you need to protect, is right here. And so if you protect that well with our closure sleeve, you can actually have a shorter tree span distance. All right, hope that helps there. Let's see what the chat is saying. Gear stash open or enclosed. Barbara, the gear stash is right here. The gear stash is an add-on option, or it comes with a reward that has the Ninox fly in it. Very small, very compact. It is going to, well, I'll just pop it open and show you. Got it all neatly lined up, right? Of course. So the gear stash is going to hang right below the Ninox hammock, and it is going to allow you to place your pack down below you and easily access it at any point during the night, or just to keep your pack off the ground. I can't stand my pack being muddy. I can't stand it being kind of just nasty when it rains and you leave it on the ground or you have to hang it. So I wanted to keep it close by. You're just going to have 2 loops for the gear stash, and I'm going to connect that into the hammock. And so my pack would actually sit. My pack would actually go here. Let me just grab my pack. You can hold about 190 to 200 pounds in the gear stash. Plenty of weight bearing for your pack. So that's the gear stash. Let me make sure I'm getting all the questions. Excuse me. I am getting very sick for some reason. Bert, each of these items. So what you're looking at right here, this is the Ninox hammock. This has the winter top shield applied to the Ninox hammock. What you saw earlier was the fly. This is the gear stash. So those are the names. If you scroll down our page on Kickstarter, you'll actually see there's quite a bit of explanation there for each of the products. We've tried to do our best to convey all of that to you guys. Bert, the minimum distance is 112. So, what is that? Bert is asking, what is the min and max distance for setup? The max distance is going to depend on how big the tree is, That'll determine that, but I've gone up to 30 feet of a span, and then about 9.5 feet or 114 inches is the min. So you've got from 9 feet to 30 feet to find 2 trees. That should be able to cover all of your needs there, Bert. Barbara, I'm glad to hear you got your puffles. I'm glad you like them. Let's see, how much weight can a gear stash hold? Bert, yeah, we've actually used it as a little hammock chair. I put 200 pounds in it. It's going to be completely fine at 200 to 300. It's for a pack, but if you want to use it as a hammock chair, you can also do that. We've done that. If you go to our Facebook page or our Instagram, you'll see Barry Garibaldi actually looks like he's levitating in the air because he's sitting in the chair in the gear stash. All right, I think I've got all the questions there. Hey, Roger, so great question. The sleeves are not always at the carabiner level. How effective are they at stopping the water drip cinched around? So cinched around the strap, they're going to be able to stop water from just running down, but they're not going to stop the water from transferring through the webbing. Now, I'm confused as to why you're saying they're not always at the carabiner level. They will actually always, they should always be at the carabiner level. We've got a lot of variation that you can adjust the closure sleeve to make sure it's always at the carabiner. Now it comes through that sleeve. That carabiner goes through the sleeve, and the sleeve actually wraps around the carabiner. Hope that helps there. That is how that will seal off. If you got any more questions, feel free to type them in. Right now, I am steadily losing my voice. I apologize. Right now, I'm going to spin you around. I'm going to go through, for anybody new that is just joining us, I'm going to just spin you around and look at this whiteboard over here so that you can see a few things that I want to go through that'll answer kind of the majority of some questions that we've received here lately. YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, guys and gals. Kickstarter, you're kind of limited. Got you kind of at an angle. Can everybody see that okay? Cool. Facebook, I'm going to spin you around just to make sure that it is the right side for you. All right, thanks for your patience. Thanks for your patience, guys. One-man show today. Let me get this light. All right, should be good. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, you're trying to figure out what this product is all about, I want to start at the beginning. I want to start at kind of some of the issues that I had with current available camping hammocks on the market, and I want to walk you through kind of the three major differences between our product and what is currently in the market. So when I started this whole journey, it was about 8 months ago, 10 months ago, where I wanted to make a product, and if you look at all of our other products, you'll see that all of our products right now revolve around a netless hammock. But about 10 months ago, I was toying with the idea of saving weight and incorporating a design that would allow me to lay as flat as possible on any direction, right? Any direction, symmetric, that I would like. And what the market offered was a asymmetric design, which forced you to lay head right, feet left, or head left, feet right, or a symmetric design, which with a rectangular end of your hammock, with a rectangular end of the hammock, it actually creates a drop point in the center because the edges are pulled tighter than the center is, okay? Now with an asymmetric design, you just cut that at an angle, right? So what you do is you get some extra space here, but you lose space here. That problem doesn't really sit well with me, because sometimes I'll set my product up and I want to be able to look out one side of the hammock, but the reality is that I've set it up on the wrong, so either I have to flip it around or I just don't get to look outside. And then sometimes I just want to be able to move around inside of the product. All right, so that's why I started there. I started with two things. I want a symmetric design that allows me to lay as flat or flatter than an asymmetric design. So that was our premise. Then we went further into the product, and we realized that a lot of the products on the market were unzipping the mesh from at the tie-out point, and really and truly the mesh was restricting your lay, number one, because it was too small. It was restricting your lay, too small, and the interior of the mesh was very small. It would come down very close to your face or your feet, and that was annoying to me. So what we created to solve these two problems, let me back up a little bit. What we created to solve these problems, the first thing we did was create a wave-shaped pattern for the hammock body. The wave-shaped pattern allows for more material where your head goes. If you see this curve going up, reducing material, my voice is totally squeaking, reducing material in the center, and then creating a symmetrical lay by adding fabric back on the other side. What that allows is more fabric here and here, which is where your head and your feet go, and then a reduced amount of fabric in the center so that it actually raises your butt up. Okay, so we've brought the head down, the feet down, and your butt up, so that the idea is that you should get a lay that is similar to this, where you can see my head here, you can see my butt here, and you can see my feet here. That is the outcome that we have tried to create. This creates no pressure on your body. There's no pressure at your calves. There's no pressure on your knees. The fabric actually forms to your body and creates a very flat lay for a symmetrically gathered in hammock. There's no poles. It's not a bridge hammock. There's no poles, so you reduce that weight and save weight and add some simplicity. All right, so that's the major thing. You'll see these red spots. That's where your head and that's where your foot would go. There's an expanded chamber there, an expanded area of fabric there that allows your head and your feet to go there. So that's the first thing. That's how we made it flat and symmetric, right? Next, to solve the interior space problem, we created what we call expansion chambers, which are just simply added material in the sides, right? You see this added material. This does several things. This gives you the freedom and the fabric width to be able to lay flat so that the mesh isn't actually pulling the walls of the hammock up, which is a big problem in a lot of our competitors' hammocks. The mesh is so tight that it actually pulls the walls up. It gives you that space, but then it also, we created these pullouts, these triangular pullouts that create a three-dimensional space right above your head and right above your feet. Excuse me. Right above your head, right above your feet, so that it pulls out the space and gives you the ability to stretch out and expand while you're in the product. The third and final thing that we really try to do, and we try to do this for all of our products, but for the Ninox specifically, we've created so many little things to keep it simple. There's no knots. It's very easy to make adjustments. It's a simple tension lock. So I've got an example of our ridgeline right here. This is how hard it is to make an adjustment on the ridgeline, and then if you want to adjust the other way, just go like that. It's very intuitive in the fact that, you know, everybody knows how to use one of these. Everybody knows how to use a buckle. A buckle is very simple. It doesn't require a whole lot of research or understanding, and that's our goal: is make it simple. We're not here to complicate things. We're here to get as many people out into the wild as possible. That's our goal. So that makes for a fast setup also. When you're just clipping in, it's a very fast setup. It's very quick up and down. And then everything is color coded. So the D-rings for attaching to the fly are going to match the hooks that come on the hammock. The D-rings for the attachment to the Inferno are going to match the Inferno hooks. Everything's color coded. It's going to be a very simple, straightforward process to use the product. So these are the three things that we centered around our design when we were creating this product. Wave-shaped pattern to have a flat lay symmetrically, which means any direction. I can lay on my side, my stomach, my back. Spacious interior. The pullouts create these expansion chambers which allow you to have a lot of space. They create, they keep the mesh off of your face, and you saw how easy it was for me to zip and unzip even when my shoulder was near the hammock. I was able to zip and unzip because the pullouts are not at the zipper point. They are actually on our triangles, which distribute the load and allow you to zip and unzip very easily and smoothly. And then finally, knotless. All right, lastly, I want to go over a few things that are add-ons, and then we'll get to questions. We've got a few other questions here. Winter top shield, $65. If you want to make an add-on to your Kickstarter pledge, all you have to do is go to adjust my pledge or manage my pledge. It's up at the top right. You'll see it's a green button, I believe. Manage my pledge. You click that, you'll have an amount that you have pledged to receive the reward you have selected. If you want to add to that, say you want to double what you receive, or you want to add one of these options. We've got a lot of options on our Kickstarter page. All you have to do is add the dollar amount to your pledge. That's it. Go to manage your pledge, add the dollar amount of what you want to add to your pledge, and it will be done. All of the details for that will be figured out in the post-campaign survey that is going to come out a couple of months down the road when we get closer to our ship time, so we get the right address. You're going to be able to adjust your colors, make sure you got everything you wanted. All of that will happen in the post-campaign survey. Kickstarter is meant to get your pledge. It'll take your payment at the end of the campaign, and then the survey will allow you to get all the details worked out. Very nice and easy. So we've got the winter top shield. That's what we've added on. We get the Ninox Fly for $170. The winter top shield is $65. The 55 degrees puffle is $75. That's a vegan or a synthetic puffle. The 40 degree puffle in our vegan version, which is a synthetic version, is $99. And then the down version is $169. I hope that helps. I'm going to go back to answering questions, but hopefully that gives everybody what you would need. I got a lot more questions. What you would need as far as just an idea of what makes it different and what you can add on and how to add on. All right, I had a few questions come in before the campaign, so let me get those. I'm 6'9". I need an 11-foot hammock. Will I fit in the Ninox? Now, I'll be honest, 6'9" is pretty tall. Our hammock is actually an 11-foot 3-inch hammock. So it's actually larger than an 11-foot hammock. If you fit an 11-foot hammock, you're going to definitely fit in the Ninox flat lay hammock, so it shouldn't be a problem. I just would say that I don't have a lot of 6'9" friends to test it out, so you'll have to take advantage of our 30-day try it and love it guarantee, and if it works, wonderful. If it doesn't, hey, just send us back. Either we can make you a custom 12-foot hammock, or we'll have to get you something different. So hope that helps. So I just went over the add-ons. That was another question. Somebody asked, is the insulation removable? Is the winter top shield removable? What about 2 people? So the insulation is definitely removable. If you look at some of our other rewards, you'll see that you can add an Inferno in the 30 degree, this is the underquilt and the top quilt. This is obviously all proofed up in our cotton storage sack that it comes with. I'll talk a little bit about the Inferno because it's a really amazing piece. We created the Inferno, and it specifically was designed with the Ninox in mind, because on the corners of the Ninox there are D-rings that allow you to connect the Inferno and actually help the Inferno get more on the diagonal. Really phenomenal. It really fits well with the flat lay of the Ninox. Our underquilt comes in, I believe, at 30 degree underquilt comes in at 18 ounces, which is incredibly lightweight. Our top quilt, which is super snazzy, it actually is an open and expanded mummy bag. So the back is completely open so that it can expand, and it's really easy to slip in and out of while you're in a hammock. You got a foot box And then you just slip this right over your head just like you would a t-shirt. And you got plenty of space, but you've got shoulder coverage, full head coverage. You got a nice little flap to keep it out of your face. Super proud of how the Inferno turned out. This is 17 ounces, 17.8, I believe. So very lightweight, tendon-ear fabric, 800 fill power, down tech, down, top-notch stuff. Then we've got our puffles. I'll show the puffles real quick. So we've got our puffles, and the puffle is a 40-degree, right now it's a 40-degree blanket that is a lot of fun. This is our branded version. Yours will not have a big Sierra Madre symbol on it. In fact, I can show you the actual version. However, if you want a branded version to go on an adventure and take a few pictures for us, we can actually arrange that for you, so hit us up on Messenger. This is what it will look like. This is our synthetic version. That's the branding. It's very subtle. And then, so we've got a lot of different color options. This can actually be used as a top quilt, as an underquilt, or you can attach a couple of blankets or 5 blankets, however many you want, together with our full-length snaps. So I'll just show that really quick. You can attach these together, make a huge blanket. They come with the underquilt kit in them, so they're ready to go as an underquilt. We've got the 40-degree, and we released the 55-degree for a really lightweight version, synthetic, super affordable, $75. That's a great deal for a top quilt underquilt at the $55 range, and 55-degree range. So anyways, that all can be removed off the product when it's warm. The rewards that we've offered that include insulation are meant for different seasons. If you'll notice, there's a 2-season, which is kind of like your summer and a little bit of each side of the spring and fall, depending on where you live. And then 3-season, 30-degree, and then 4-season, 0-degree, which is a cave of down. I mean, it's insane amount of down. Super warm. If you're cold nature, get the 0-degree. It's a comfort rating. I promise you will be warm. All of our ratings are comfort ratings. I hope that was super helpful. Let me scroll the comments and see what we got. I need to turn this light off. How much for a branded version? Oh, Tony, I love you, man. Actually, they're fairly expensive because they're all one-off. Let's get a little bit. YouTube, glad you are joining us. Facebook. I'm trying to get all these comments, but it's incredibly hard with one person. So be patient with me. Let me make sure Kickstarter is good. Okay, somebody asked about our fabric on the Ninox hammock. So the Ninox material is going to be our newly developed Teflon 3 material. If you've been following us prior to now, you've known about our Teflon fabric, which is a really buttery soft nylon, plain weave, high thread count fabric that's incredibly strong and very comfortable. The Teflon 3 fabric is actually 20% lighter than our original Teflon fabric. So we went down to a 30 denier fabric. And believe me, we have put an immense amount of testing into the product, into the fabric. We've made our prototypes out of the Robic 1.2.
which is 20 by 20 denier fabric with an 80 denier ripstop, I believe. That fabric's worked out pretty well. We sent it off to get tested and compare it to our Tezlon 3, and it's actually about 20%, I think it was 19% stronger in both rip and tear strength. And I think we lost about 12% strength compared to our original Tezlon, which, if you know our original Tezlon, it was definitely way more than it needed to be. We had many times where we had well over 1,200 pounds in the product for a long period of time. In fact, with the Tezlon 3, we tested it all the way up to 1,500 pounds. If you go to our Facebook page, you'll see me on a live video jumping up and down with concrete in the product, trying to break it. Eventually we do. It's quite a sight to see. Let me make sure I get all the other questions. Roger, absolutely, very much so. That's why we created Gear Stash. See Rich and color-coded, color-blind finger. Roger, I will tell you this, we use a bright green and a bright blue, and I believe the other color is going to be orange. So I'm not sure if it will be color-coded friendly, but it will be really easy to figure out. Not only is it color-coded, but it's intuitive as to where they go. Promise it will make sense. We also have QR codes that will help you with the video to show you exactly where it goes. I'm thinking I've got most of the comments here. Tasia, do we have any more comments that I've missed or questions that I've missed? If you'll drop those into Kickstarter, I would appreciate it. Tony, did you get your all your gear back, man? Tony needed a repair here recently. Got it back to you. Maybe split. I don't know how to work YouTube. Guys, 77 minutes. If you've tuned in and you're just now starting with us, please go back and watch this video. There's a lot of information in the video. We've gone over a lot. I want to just first of all thank everybody that has joined us to date, because as of right now, I think we're very close to 900 people just in this one campaign that lives will be changed due to clean water. I mean, that's phenomenal. And so kudos to you guys. Thank you very much. That is life-changing. That is impact. And that is what helps me get out of bed every morning at 5 a.m. and just push hard, because bringing people clean water and giving you guys phenomenal gear, that's why we're here. Period. That's it. That's our story. Oh, the double layer. I want to show you all the double layer really quick. Kickstarter, I don't think you've seen it. I want to make sure I show that. Oh, there's just gear everywhere, guys. Sorry about the mess. And we just lost Facebook. Sorry, Facebook. My phone is dead. Double layer, let me show you a few things that you can look forward to. There will be some really cool accenting that we can do with the double layer. The interior fabric will be one color. That is a color. hard to see with the mesh. And then the exterior will be another color. I'm going to showcase where I'm going to show you the there's the double layer, baby. Alright, so we've got a little attachment point here to keep the bottom layer joined to the top layer. That comes undone really easily. You can slide your pad into your sleeve, into that little sleeve, which I have a pad, of course. Okay, so yes, we tie it out. Make this dude look right. Okay, so you can put the pad in to the hammock. We're going to have little D-rings on the inside right here, so you can attach to your pad, hook into your pad, and keep it in place, because the tendency when you're in a double layer, or even a single layer for that matter, you're trying to use a pad, and so that pad to slide around, but with these D-ring attachment points, you're going to be able to clip it in to your pad. We may make a pad, who knows. This is actually one of our prototypes. It's pretty cool. It's got a little pump in it and everything. Anyways, so there you have it. We're gonna have a couple of different variations of color here. We're not gonna be able to do as many because our volume is so low on the double layer, but we are gonna give you all some options there. So be sure to tune in and vote on that. And if we don't have any more questions, I'm going to sign out because I am literally about to lose my entire voice. And I do apologize for the squeaking. Okay, I see some more questions. Okay, great question. So when you go netless, if I were to pull off the mesh, you can actually, if I pull off the mesh, question is, if I remove the mesh, will the fabric still fall on my face? If you pull the mesh off completely, you can actually just attach it to one of our D-rings on the corner. We've got several little attachment points there that will keep it off. You can see that that will not be in your face at all. Will you guys be making a hang con this next year? I don't know. I was there 2 years ago. I think Barry was there this past year. We love HangCon. It's a fun group of people, but I don't know. I wish I could say yes to that right now, but I cannot. If you're going to be at HangCon, type us a message so we know to look for you. I thought the tie-outs were only on the net, which is why I was asking about netless mode. Absolutely. Yeah, so there are more tie-outs. So we've got a tie-out option on the net, and then we have another D-ring right here. Multiple options. That's the green color that will actually be on the tie-outs for the hammock. Just surveying, making sure I got all these questions. If you have any more, guys, submit them and I will try my best to get to them. Looks like that's about it, though. All right. I believe we have answered all the questions. If we haven't, please shoot us a note, shoot us a comment, get in touch with us. Tasia or myself will be back with you with an answer shortly. I know we had a lot of frequently asked questions on the Kickstarter page where Tasia went through and answered those in very great detail. There's even some videos to help you with other different questions that you might have. Please let us know if we've missed something. If you want to see something in particular, happy to do it. Happy to do a custom video or something like that if we can, to make sure we get everything answered for you. If that's it, guys, I am completely hoarse now, I believe. Much love from the Sierra Madre family. I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful that you've joined us. Whether you back the project or not, thanks for tuning in. If you would give us a share on the Kickstarter campaign, that would mean the absolute world to me, to the team. Your feedback is really what fuels us. It's our oxygen. It really keeps us going. So if you give us a share on the video or on the Kickstarter campaign, that would mean the world. If you have any questions, again, send them in. We will gladly get to them. If not, much love. YouTube, Kickstarter. I will see you all on the next live. We've only got a few more days. I don't know what we're at right now, but we've only got a few more days. The campaign is coming down quickly. 8 days left. So make sure you tell your buddies and your friends all about the Ninox flat lay hammock so you can enjoy air camping in any direction, on your side, on your back, or even your stomach. Much love, guys.